The time has come to revisit the marriages of Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda is so famous that a president introduced her to her third and final husband, a man that is credited for creating the first ever 24-hour news station. There is a lot to unpack here, but before we do, hi, I am John Joseph and I am your mom and grandma's favorite influencer because I create content about your favorite old Hollywood stars. So if you want more videos like the one you're seeing right now about Jane Fonda, be sure to hit that follow button. Many people forget that Jane Fonda is a Nepo baby. Her father was Henry Fonda, one of the biggest stars of Hollywood's golden age. She of course went on to have an iconic career herself, and would go on to be linked to many famous stars, including Robert Redford and Marvin Gaye, who Jane went on record to say she regrets not hooking up with. Let me know if you want a video on that. But although Jane Fonda was said to date some of the biggest stars of her generation, when it came time for marriage, she had different plans. Jane's first husband was director Roger Vadim. They first met in 1963 when he wanted her for a movie, but she turned him down. That same year, they reconnected at her birthday party, and by 1964, they were married. He directed her in her iconic movie Barbarella, and they even had one child together, but unfortunately in 1973, they would divorce. But don't be too sad for Jane, because that same year in 1973, she met her second husband, Tom Hayden. What's wild about her relationship with Tom Hayden is the first night that they met, he put his hand on her leg, and Jane said that was the night that she knew she would marry him. This was Jane's longest relationship. They had one son together and even adopted a daughter, but would divorce in 1990. But don't be too sad for Jane, because just 1 year later, she would marry for the third and final time to Ted Turner. He made history when he created the first ever 24-hour news channel on cable, and President Jimmy Carter introduced them before they married in 1991. But unfortunately, after a decade of marriage, Jane would realize that the relationship wasn't for her, so she ended the relationship. Jane Fonda is now 87 years old and has no plans on remarrying. And I've said this once and I'll say it again, Miley Cyrus has got to play Jane Fonda in a biopic.